Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non binary friends. And welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Definitely a thumbs up for that. Well, hokey smokes, it is cold outside. It is, well, cold. It was freezing this morning. And when I went outside to take my trash out, there's still frost in all of the shadows. So, nice and chilly. Except, as chilly as it is, I felt great going out like this. So I'm not cold out there. I mean, I would be if I went walkies like this, I'm quite certain. But I've even had my AC unit on back there because I'm so warm in here. With the window open. So, but that's just because I'm too warm. I'm actually kind of glad I'm feeling that way. Periodically, I don't know if I get a bug from being out and about, but I will hit points where I feel sick because I can't get comfortable temperature-wise. I will be either comfortably cold, except at the same time, I am teetering right on the edge of being too warm. And if I'm comfortably warm, I'm teetering right on the edge of being too cold. And so for these times, I'm getting up and turning my heat on for 30 seconds, and then I'm too hot. So I have to go turn it off. And then 30 seconds later, I'm freezing. I don't have any other symptoms of anything, but I just have that. But now, I am comfortably too warm and not having the two things at the same time. So thumbs up for that. Anyway, point being, it's cold out. I need to get to Walmart at some point before the pharmacy closes because I need to renew my blood pressure medication. And I need to get some of those tooth cleaning tabs. So I have a good reason to get out there before it gets dark. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Checking my list over here, there's not a ton of stuff. One of the things I want to talk about with this mouse, though, is nice of a mouse though it is, annoying though the lights can be. One thing was really annoying me because it's right on the edge of being too fast. It's okay to use, it's just almost too fast. And there's no DPI switch on it. It's one speed. So I went into mouse settings on the system stuff and I turn it down. And it goes slow. Move the mouse and it just drags so slow, but then it starts speeding up until it's at the speed it was at before. And if I speed it up all the way, then it just zooms and then slows down to that speed. It has one speed. You can't change it. So, joy. Still, it works. It feels slightly too small, so it's kind of cramped to hold it. But life is life. One day, I may get another. And then, I was reading in comments, I think it was Sir Schmuckle had mentioned, I have been thinking for a very long time, years, about, I was asked in the comment, maybe you should get a ring light? Have you thought about that? And yeah, I have been, because for years I've only had like the lighting in the room to work with and nothing else. I mean, I've tried. I have a bedside light over there that I kind of aimed more up and over in this direction to try and backlight. So I understand the concepts that I have to do. I just don't have good equipment for it. My problem, of course, is these things all cost money, and I get paid like once a year from YouTube, and I'm on disability, and especially now in the United States, who knows what's going to happen. So, yay. So I'm thinking of getting one here. I've been thinking of getting one for a long time. We shall see what happens, since I need to eat and stuff like that. Yay. But hopefully it's a little better, and I don't look quite so sunken-eyed like I had before. What else do I have over on my list? Because there is some stuff that I wanted to talk about. 10 years and more ago, when my wife was alive, I played and beat the game F.E.A.R. In fact, holy smokes, it was probably closer to 2010 that I beat the game F.E.A.R. You know, First Encounter Assault Recon. If you're into shooters, it's an old game. I think it's 2005. And I was watching an almost hour-long retrospective on it. Because, yeah, the AI that they used in that system is still so much better than 90% of the AI used in games today. So, that's joyous. But looking at it, I wanted to play it again. But there's so much stuff that I go, oh, because of my ADHD, I need to play that too. And then my list of games that I'm playing goes to this and gets a little bit bigger all the time. But the problem is then I play this game, say today. And then by the time I work my way through the list again, it's 3 weeks that I've been. And I can't remember what the heck is going on in the game after that long. I have difficulty remembering my name for a half hour at a time. I have severe ADHD that I cannot treat with stimulants, as the best way to treat ADHD is. I can't take Ritalin, I can't take Adderall, I can't take any of those things. I tried. I'm on strong blood pressure meds now because of that. So I can barely keep going with just normally without losing track of what I'm talking about or thinking about. I'm not going to be able to remember things for 3 weeks. But I've gotten also used to the fact that because of things, because of my ADHD, because of the fact that it is so hard to just concentrate on one thing for any length of time. I've gotten used to the fact that I'm going to solve and beat very few games, and I just have to treat them as experiences. I have restarted like the game Grim Dawn so many times and played through it so many times. But because of my ADHD, it's always fresh. I can't remember the maps. I can't remember the quests. I can't remember the storyline. I mean, I remember the storyline. You're fighting bad things. But because I forget, all I have to do is wait a month, 3 months, a year, and come back to a game and it's fresh. Oh, ADHD is fun. But life is life on that. So, yeah, I'm hoping to restart playing that. Was that English? Start. Hopefully you know what I meant. But let's see what else I have on here. Because, yes, here we are. This reminded me as well of something that I thought was funny before, which my very dark sense of humor. But at one point in the game F.E.A.R, you're going on elevators. Not elevators. One elevator to get somewhere. And the bad guys that you're fighting are all linked psychically. And so they've gotten their orders, and every floor on this, not every one, but like every third or fourth floor, they've pressed the button so that you have to deal with them. And they've got ambushes set up. So you don't have a choice because the elevator stops and the door opens. So now you got to deal with them. But at one point, the person that you're escorting says something along the lines of, "You don't have to kill everyone," as she cowers away from you, afraid that she's going to get shot too. And my thought on that, when I heard that in the retrospective, was, of course, along the lines of, "You're right. I don't have to. I'm going to. Not you. But I don't have to." Which, in a goofy kind of way, I was thinking either in a science fiction or superhero type thing, because I could see a less discriminating type of Deadpool doing something along the lines of, after shooting someone of questionable, should you have done that or not, someone turns to that person that says, "You can't do that. You can't kill innocent people." And I was like, BAM! And then another body hits the floor, at which point he turns to them and says, "Yeah, I can. That was easy." Because, yeah. What is there a physical law? Is there a rope? Let me check this. So, yeah, somebody died as a joke. Thumbs up for that. Is there anything else I have up on my list? Well, two things. One of them is very, very silly. Check my time. I watch some furry channels, and there are lots of furry meme reading things. If you ever watch The Click, he does furry IRL readings periodically. And I watch some furry channels where there are people who are furries that do the furry IRL memes. And quite often, they have cropped GIF photos. And if you don't know what GIF is, we're on the internet. You can use Google, though there are extensions to turn off all the AI garbage, so I tried that before using Google. But yeah, you can do that, and then you'll find out. I don't have to explain it. But as much as I don't like base organic stuff, it's my neurodiverse brain gets really icked out by that sort of thing. Even though there's that, I find cropped GIF photos as thumbnails funny. Part of it being the subversion. You don't expect to have that sort of thing as a thumbnail. And part of it being I think it's funny because stick it to the man sort of way, in that you're not supposed to have this sort of thing. And, well, I do. But I don't. But it is. Even though it isn't. So that stomping on the line instead, and not exactly crossing over periodically, when I'm not on the receiving end, I think it's a good thing. So I just wanted to mention that since I saw one this morning, it reminded me that I wanted to talk about those. So let's see if I have anything left up here. One of them being, I talked about this yesterday. Or the day before, some days ago, when I hit noon, morning feels like yesterday. So it is so hard for me to judge the passage of time. But as much as I love and have been playing the game, Paint the Town Red, it is really a thoroughly appalling game. Because the only way to win is to be the only survivor. So when you're in this bar and you start a fight, you have to survive. Everybody else has to die. And there's almost 100 of them. And then when you go into this disco, you have to be the survivor. And while a lot of them are fighting each other, they're also chasing you down. And you can't just knock them out, because they'll get up and they'll chase you. And they won't stop until you finally damage them so much that they stop metabolizing. And when you're standing in the disco and everything is coated in blood, there's body parts and corpses everywhere. There's just silence broken by the occasional drip of blood. Yeah, it's voxels and it's Minecraft type graphics, but that's a lot of dead people. And each and every one of these levels is like that. There's a prison. There's a pirate place, a pirate cove, day and night. And they're fun. But again, you largely have to murder everyone to survive. And that sometimes feels really icky. Especially since there are a lot of modifiers. Now, I'm quite sure that I've done this for the channel already to show off what these modifiers are. And one of them is gun show, where none of the NPCs in the game will go over to where your stash of guns is, but there's guns on the ground. And it feels really, really wrong to play like the disco level, where you're going through and just blasting everyone with the shotgun. Because it doesn't take more than a minute and everybody is dead. It feels gross. But I still play it. Luckily, you can get workshop stuff, and a big part of it is there's a thing called Beneath, where you have character classes and you're going down through a dungeon crawl below the ground, trying to get deeper and deeper and deeper. So it's not just a murder sim. Thank goodness. Like I said, I like the game. It's fun. It has a good game loop. The combat feels nice. But it also just makes me want to take a shower at the same time, just to get all that grease and nasty feeling off. What else do I have up here? Checking my time was just the last thing. I've talked about cryptids before. My cryptids, for people that don't know, or to remind those who have been with me on this journey for a long time. With the cryptids, I've mentioned that there are some, but it's not just some, it's most of them, 98% and more. They live just like in the forest, in the woods. They don't have a civilization. They're unable to be civilized. They can't. They live as their ancestors have lived for hundreds of thousands of years, largely like animals. They don't wear clothing because the weather won't bother them, and nothing can really hurt them. Temperature-wise, they can survive down to like minus 40, and about 130 is where they can go around without any real weight to do. No protective gear, and they'll survive, but they won't be happy. Anything above that, they'll start needing gear. So weather, they don't need anything. And protection, Normal matter generally cannot harm them, so they don't need protection. They just live like like their ancestors have lived. They walk around, they eat stuff that they just find to eat. They drink whenever they're thirsty from whatever they find to drink. When it's time to sleep, they just find a place to sleep. Those that are more human, because of the types of cryptids they are, some of them live in buildings. Some of them interact with human beings, if not on a daily basis. Weird way to say that. But they also live amongst us. And we see and interact with them as if they're human. But largely, at the end of a day, they just curl up wherever they happen to be, at the base of a tree, underneath a bush, someplace to keep the light out of their eyes, and then they just sleep. They can wake up and crackle the ice off of them, get up out of the snow that's buried them, and they're fine. They don't have a civilization that they have to maintain. They have happy and friendly relations with others, and especially those amongst them who are still human with their third eye open so they can interact with the cryptid world. But they changed too, because you are a failed cryptid. You had a genetic disease where your body did not convert to cryptid form. So you have no conscious attachment to any of your cryptid senses, but it's there. You are a cryptid in everything but your human form still being human. Your genetic flaw failed you. Nobody knows this. Everybody just thinks that these people have their third eye open. But you are changed. Most people don't care about stuff like, getting dressed up, because you're dealing with cryptids, and most of them don't care or dress themselves. You worry mostly just about, well, it's kind of chilly today. So you throw on a sweater and, some pants, shoes, maybe a hat, and if it's just that, that's fine. And if not, you may be walking around town with just, boots and a shirt, and you're happy and fine, and that's great. Normal people won't be able to interact with you. You can wander amongst them. You can push and try to talk with them, all of us normal people, but because you have such a high cryptid presence because of your third eye being open, largely when people talk to you, their eyes just slide off, and then they forget you're there. It's a lonely life. The only friends you have are cryptids. And hey, checking the time. I have talked a long time, and boy, with everything being the way it is, my GERD and all that, my throat is sore. I need to cut this one short-ish. So hey, call to action if you could like, comment, share, subscribe. That would be very, very cool. Definitely appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. And of course, if you're a Patreon patron, thumbs up and thank you so very much. It is appreciated, definitely. Without your help, my life would be worse. Thank you so very, very much. When you look in the mirror, you're looking at somebody who is beautiful and awesome. For everybody that leaves me a comment, thumbs up and thank you as well. I read every comment that YouTube shows me. I thumbs up and heart each comment that YouTube allows, and I answer as many as my nerve compression will let me, because keeping my arms held out to use a keyboard, it hurts so much. And if I press that sort of thing too hard, I can't use my arms at all. So yay. Life is life. But I am going to edit, render, upload. I'm going to take care of myself as best as I can. I'm going to go for walkies before it gets dark. Because remember, I got to get over to, it is 12:19. I got to get over to Walmart before the pharmacy closes. And they close early. So I got to get over there early. Okay, smokes. Hopefully you can get done the things that you want to get done. That would be very cool. But if you can't, please do not beat yourself up. That will not help you get it done better next time, and you deserve better. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very good thing. And since I got the webcam up there, I can use my right hand and don't have to crisscross or get everything mixed up and do a double barrel, apparently. Fingers akimbo. So, you take care, and I will talk to you later as I finally get that bloody mouse pointer onto the stop taking video button.